everybody, PlanetWalls here. It's been a while. I've had a glass of wine. Becky's had like 12. She might be joining us. She's walking in this direction. I haven't played this in a while just because we've been so busy. I had that pneumonia. I took azithromycin. I'm not sure if it actually solved anything on my end, but it did make all my pimples go away on my ass and my back and my chest and my face. I became a real man. Hi, Becky.
They didn't have 12.
They didn't have 12 what?
Glasses of wine.
How many did you have?
I'm not really sure. I stopped counting.
So it could be 12.
Could be. I'll wake up Thursday tomorrow.
I seriously have not played Spelunky in so long.
You're
Do you think I'm going to do well?
No.
I like that. I'm going to play like garbage.
Are you in
Garbage day.
Are you in a daily challenge?
Of course I'm in a daily challenge. I'm not a wiener.
I don't think people will like me as much drunk because I'm not as smart.
You're even smarter.
No.
Yeah, and you think people like you for your intelligence? They like you for your wit, which might be a different thing. I don't know. Kant distinguishes between all those, but that's really not the important part of his work.
I'm not as witty either.
You're not as woody?
Witty.
Like Tom Hanks' character in,
I'm never as witty because I'm a woman.
As opposed to what? At Pinocchio?
A man.
Are you making a reference to a man's penis, which you're referring to as Woody?
Yes.
Good one.
Thank you.
Oh, I ended up stabbing the dog with an arrow anyway. Alright, so let's tell people what we've been up to. What happened with your exams, Becky? You remember you had those big exams, which was one of the main reasons why you weren't recording with me?
I passed them.
You passed them?
Yeah.
What were they on? I already know all this, by the way, guys. It's not like...
They're on psychoanalysis.
Uh-huh. And what else?
Television.
What do you like about television? I mean, let's be honest. It's really just something you only need to watch every once in a while to make sure you're caught up on How I Met Your Mother.
Go fuck yourself.
That's what I thought.
It's very serious.
Mm-hmm.
I watched each series like 3 times and transcribed them.
Each series? Which series, Becula?
I watched Hannibal.
Uh-huh.
I watched Breaking Bad.
Uh-huh.
I watched Game of Thrones, of course.
Uh-huh. What do you think about season 4 so far? Good?
Game
Bad?
of Thrones?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Spoiler alert, I guess?
It's really hard to tell when it's not in sequence.
When it's not in sequence? You mean when you're not watching it like all at once?
Yeah, like I feel like...
Because it's in sequence.
Okay, you're right. I feel like Game of Thrones is something that you need to binge through in order to really feel the full effect of the psychological, I don't know, burden that it presents to you.
Really?
Yeah, I feel
The burden? It's fun to watch things that cause burden.
Sure. I feel like Cersei is going a bit crazy, which...
That's kind of how I feel, too.
Which is, I think, supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I also feel like...
Are you enjoying your popcorn? You're chewing so quietly.
Yeah. I feel like in the last episode, Cersei's, I don't know, gentility toward Marjorie was a bit strange.
You mean because she actually did seem nice to her?
Yeah, even though, of course, she brought up the sinister...
I almost feel like I'm gonna have diarrhea. Sorry,
Marjorie
go on.
said, I don't know whether to call you sister or mother.
Yeah, and they already had a conversation like that with Olenna.
Cersei was like, next time you do that, I'm gonna genocide your house.
Yeah, I think that is what she said. I'm gonna genocide.
So
Be careful.
So I don't know why Marjorie was so... It was uncharacteristically stupid of her.
To actually talk about those things with Cersei?
Correct.
And her attempts to be, like, subtle seemed totally like a failure. Where are you setting that popcorn? Are you putting it under my clothes?
No, I'm putting it on the...
Can you move that somewhere else? That's actually...
No, I'm putting it on the seat under your clothes.
Oh, God. We didn't do the dishes for something like a month and a half, so don't think that the only responsibility we neglected was... playing regular Spelunky. I mean, probably from now on, it probably won't be every day like it was before, but I would like to do it much more often.
We were so neglectful that we didn't even do dishes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, normally I do the dishes, but then our dishwasher broke, and the stuff in the sink was so gross at that point that it felt to me irresponsible to wash it by hand, like I needed to fucking autoclave it. So I decided...
Not to do it.
Are you falling asleep? It looked like your head... Like, are you gonna pass out?
No, I was just going to the microphone.
You were just going to the microphone?
Yeah.
Okay.
You decided not to do them at all.
Yeah.
Which was a better decision?
I think it was in the end, because eventually our landlord came over and fixed it. I removed a bunch of dishes from our dishwasher, some of which, you know, I didn't necessarily want to throw away, but, you know, wasn't that big of a deal in the end. I've been watching a lot of Hoarders with my lovely spouse lately, and decided that I could part with some things that in the end I didn't really need.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh my god, The Rock!
That's what I've been doing since exams, is basically watching reality television.
Hoarders is not the best show on TV, but
No,
it's certainly enjoyable.
It makes me feel better about my house cleaning.
At first it made you feel worse. You
Well,
were like, this
because
is our house.
That's what our house is like. And then I cleaned it up a little bit, and I was like, I'm better than that. I also watched Mob Wives.
Let's talk about Mob Wives. I don't know. You talk about Mob Wives.
I don't know that most people know it's a show, because I had never heard of it. But...
I mean, it's just like Real Housewives, but slightly more interesting because their husbands or boyfriends are
actually
all cons or ex-cons who murder people in many cases.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The best episode was where one of them had to explain to her child what a rat was.
That was awesome.
The child was like, Mommy, what's a rat? And she was like...
Oh, it's like in this, she sort of described like a faux situation of someone ratting you out to the cops, and she goes, I'd rather die than be a rat, or something like that. And then she was like, good, that's because you're a really good girl. And then she got on the phone and talked to her in jail.
Yeah, I talked to her husband in prison.
Or whatever, and was like, you know what she just said? You know how sick it is that she said, like, I'd rather die than be a... Or no, I'd rather daddy be in jail than have been a rat and not be in jail?
And he goes, yeah. And then he goes, good girl. So she's a good girl. And
no!
And then the mother was
Oh,
like...
no!
The mother was
Oh
like...
my god! Oh my god!
The mother was like, yeah, she really is a good girl. And
yeah,
then,
so in the same
gets,
conversation, they're like, look at how sick this is,
she gets on the phone, the little girl with her daddy, and she's like, Daddy, are you sorry for the things that you did? And he goes, no, I'm sorry for the fact that I motherfucking trusted that fucking asshole who was my friend. And he goes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I shouldn't have said that.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
It just makes me very angry.
I shouldn't have sworn. It just makes Daddy so fucking angry when there's a rat. And she goes, I'll never be a rat, Daddy. And he's like, I know, sweetie. You're a good girl. You would never rat out a friend. And she goes, no, Daddy, I wouldn't. And she's like 6.
She wasn't 6. She was like 10.
No, she's younger.
12
she's
even.
way
Maybe.
younger.
I can't tell how old children are. They all look like they're 10 to me.
This was on Mob Wives. This was in New York. It was Drita.
Oh.
Drita's the best.
Everybody likes Drita.
Drita.
Whatever.
But she's awesome.
I mean, don't get me wrong, these people are disgusting individuals for the most part. Renee seems like a nice person, caught in a bad situation. But the rest of them are totally tacitly taking advantage at the very least.
No, they all seem like codependent, terrible people who are traumatized, actually.
Not all of them.
And don't know any other way of life, and feel...
Woo!
I mean, granted, it's staged to some extent, but, like I really get the sense... Okay, so the producer is...
Big Ange.
The producer is the sister of somebody who was on the show, whose father was a big mobster who went to jail.
Because her husband, whom she was separated from at the time, I believe.
No. Because the woman who was on the show...
No.
Her husband put her father in jail, actually, by wearing a wire.
Yes.
And turning him into the FBI.
What drama? I'm just too old for this fucking drama. That's how Big Ange talks.
But you feel really bad for them.
I don't feel that bad for Big Ange.
Anyway, if you men can handle it, I would highly suggest watching it. It's actually very stressful to watch, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And the women are either weird looking or semi-hot. So...
Who are you talking about? What is, so you would say Drita is semi-hot, and you would say... I almost said Carmela, but that's Tony Soprano's wife.
Yeah, that's not...
Who are we talking about? Cassandra?
No.
Cass? I don't know. What?
I'm trying to think of her name, too.
I don't know any of their fucking names.
I don't remember
Person
either.
of Interest sucks now, by the way. Orphan Black is mediocre. I don't know what to say. What's happened to our lives? By the way, which of you fuckers... Was that Ludaloots who... No. Might have been... No, Poop Dicks. It was you, Poop Dicks. If you're here, you tried to contact me on Steam, and I almost sent you a friend request, but I'm an idiot on Steam, so I didn't know how, so I didn't. What I'm trying to say is, you can send me a... not that you want to be my friend. I don't want to be presumptuous. Well, will you be my friend, Poop Dicks? Anyway, I went to my dad's wedding and performed the ceremony.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Backtrack.
The last video was before... No, it was after that, but I didn't talk about that very much. It's been a while, though. It's been more than a month.
AJ married his father and new stepmother.
I didn't... Well, I married them in a manner of speaking.
He performed the ceremony.
It wasn't like a mass marriage, like a fucking Moonies thing.
What?
Like a cult mass marriage?
I don't see why that is what most people think of when I think of marriage.
That's what I think of when I think of marriage. Where's the... Oh, if I get that shotgun, I'll be dead.
I knew some Moonies, actually, that were married in one of those mass weddings and actually stayed married for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. I knew them too.
It was interesting.
Ah! Okay, let's pick up this gun.
Then basically they just joined another cult.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Moonies. It was more surreptitious because it didn't have a name.
Oh, fuck. I'm dead.
Oh my god.
I just, like, forgot how that worked. No.
Is it because you had mine?
No, I just haven't played in a while.
You don't even have any friends that, like, rank with you.
Oh, God.
They all went above you, probably.
My daily all-time is down to 167. I used to be in the top, I don't know, 75.
Connor was probably way above that.
Yeah, let's see. Change filter. No. Someone's got a higher... No, this guy... Who is this guy? I know that this guy... Scott.
Carthorne?
That might be Scott.
Carthorne?
Scott. Scott. Some guy named Scott.
Phosphoside is...
Ballskin is my new brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that your stepbrother?
Well, yeah, but it's funnier to say new brother.
Phosphotide.
Yeah, we know him. Alright. Well, I guess I'll start recording another... we'll just play normally. Let's talk more. You're not talking.
Because I'm eating cookies.
Okay. Oh, I've got another What Will Happen prepared for Magic. Maybe I'll record that with Chris after this. Basically trying to figure out ways to break the Magic Online program and see if it actually has programmed all the rules and interactions right. But I'll keep it a little secret. Becky's looking at me like, I don't understand anything of that sort. You did not put the lid on that container right. And if that opens, it's going to spill those fudge cookies everywhere.
Your magic thing sounds titillating.
Titillating?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the word titillating is based on the word tit? But not like the word tit like a breast, like a titmouse?
No.
Like a bird?
No.
You're right, I made that up. How did you know?
Because I just didn't know where it came from. But I like using it.
What?
That word.
Tit?
Titillating.
It's scintillating.
That's scintillating. And that doesn't mean that.
What does it mean?
It means sparkling.
That's what I thought. But can't something that's titillating basically scintillate your skin?
No. Not necessarily.
We're done.
You suck at this game now.
I know. It's so sad. Scott, what was that guy's name? Also, I recorded my 4th round of Classic League, which I lost, but like, it went to a fucking Windows update in the middle of the match, and it fucked up my Fraps recording. So, for those of you who actually watched that, it wasn't that I was just like wussing out and didn't want to show anybody that I lost. In fact, it was awesome because Becky started singing in the other room as though she didn't think I was recording or that anybody could hear.
I didn't think anyone could hear.
And she was just like, do-do-do, do-do-do, AJ's so great, AJ's so great.
That's what I was singing.
And she was singing stuff like that.
I was singing a song about the Cold War.
About the Cold War?
Yeah.
What song is that? Is that a Kelly Clarkson song?
No. I don't actually know.
Is that what Adele's talking about when she's talking about setting fire to the rain?
I don't think so. That's not what I was listening to.
But Becky was singing awesomely, and then I lost the recording. I was very sad because I talked it up. I was like, Becky, I heard you singing when I was recording. And she was like, oh no, that's so embarrassing.
And then it didn't record, which I was happy about.
Yeah. One time, did we ever tell our subscribers about the time that you were in my dorm room and I was hanging out in like the public lounge with everybody else, and you apparently were just sitting in my dorm room singing about how great I was, like a song you're just like, AJ, AJ, so awesome. I just love AJ. Like that. And then my roommate came in and stood at the door for a second before letting you know he was there.
Yeah. And just looked at
That's
me.
Phil. Everybody knows Phil here.
And
He's
just
been
looked
on
at
a couple episodes.
Yeah, Phil was just looking at me. He was like, what the fuck are you doing?
It is pretty weird. How can you love me that much? I don't know, maybe Bladed Edge sings that kind of stuff to himself. I don't know.
Maybe I don't love you that much anymore.
I know, I haven't heard you sing it in a while, especially since you were apparently singing a song about the Cold War. What song is that again?
I'm not really sure.
Well, who's it by?
I don't even know.
Was it from, like, the Person of Interest soundtrack?
No.
Well, how'd you know it was about the Cold War? You don't know who the artist is, but you know it's about the Cold War?
Because one of the lines is, you were impressed by my dare. Could you ever love an American?
How do you know it's about the Cold War?
I actually don't.
Maybe it's about
might
a future
be
war
World
with
War II.
Iran.
It could be about World War II. I have no idea, actually.
Maybe...
It just seemed the Cold War was, like, heroic or something, so...
The Cold War was heroic?
I don't know.
World War II was heroic.
Plus Russians...
I mean, it's the last heroic
Russians are, like, you know, like...
All in vogue?
Well, yeah, they're in vogue now, especially since they just, you know, totally invaded Ukraine.
That's right. Did that happen before we last recorded?
No.
Oh my god.
Now that they took over Ukraine, like somebody who doesn't sympathize with
Vladimir
Russia,
Putin is hanging out.
Yeah, not
He's creepy,
somebody
I guess.
who doesn't like empathize or sympathize with Russia, but at the same time like feels this dissonance.
How did that happen?
With America? I don't know. I guess that's why I imputed onto it that it was about the Cold War. I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all interesting. I just heard you hiccup like a drunk.
I think the song was called Solstice or something.
What the hell? This should be called I'm Fucking Myself Up with a Rock. Not the nation.
But, yeah. So what do you think about... Okay, I'm gonna say something.
Tell us about the nature of modern conflict.
So one of the...
Sound off in the comments.
One of the examples... Okay, one of the exams, I guess I should say, that I took was in psychopathy. And I don't know Vladimir Putin. Putin.
Oh my god.
Personally. But I would say
my
that based on his
God.
actions, it's quite possible that he's a psychopath. Because as I was listening to one of the commenters who followed his career, somebody asked him, I think it was Anderson Cooper, do you really think that he knows what he's doing? And she was like, no. Like, I think he has a greater ambition to, you know, reclaim the USSR, but I don't think
It's a weird, like, super villainy ambition.
Yeah, because I don't really know day to day that he knows what he's doing. And they're like, he acts by gut, he acts by instinct. Well, guess what that means? Typically that they're a psychopath.
I act by my gut.
They don't really have they don't learn by, consequences, like negative consequences. Negative reinforcement does not work with these people. They don't work with people, I should say. Instead, they learn, to some extent by positive reinforcement, but not always, right? So here's the idea. Like, sanctions against the USSR are not going to work if Vladimir Putin is in fact some sort of narcissist or psychopath. It is not in their brain structure, and I'm not saying this exonerates them morally.
I knew that might happen for like the last 3 minutes.
I'm not saying this exonerates them morally, but it does not work in their brain structure to actually be motivated by negative reinforcement. So any sort of sanctions that the United States and Germany and the rest of the EU puts on Putin, it's not going to work. I'm just saying that right now. Because based on what I know of his actions and based on what I've heard about him, he is indeed a psychopath. And I mean that, like, psychopaths are just
You mean that in the most gentile sense possible.
Correct.
Gentle. Not
They're
gentile.
one step away from
being an animal.
No, from being a narcissist. But that means basically see the fellow man as meat. The difference between a narcissist and a psychopath is basically sadism. And I think arguably Putin is a sadist of some sort.
You think he's a sadist?
Well,
How
like
do you know what he likes?
He
You think he's
enjoy-
like Joffrey?
I think he endures. Yeah, I think he. How should I say it? I don't know. Takes pleasure in other people's pain.
How do you know that from looking at him?
It's not like he shut
think
down
he
the
looks
gulags.
It's not like he shut down the gulags?
Yeah, it's not like he felt like a moral imperative to shut down the gulags.
Yeah, but like our country has fucking essentially gulags hanging out in Cuba and whatever.
It's true, but
We don't shut that shit down.
They put him in terms of utility.
Yeah, well that's probably what he would do too.
True, but I mean, they're pretty pervasive. And people are sent to him that are not necessarily...
Just like our country.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I'm just saying, maybe we have a psychopath in charge.
I could be wrong. I'm not saying that... I'm not a diagnostician. I'm just saying I don't think sanctions are going to work. And I'm not saying that therefore we should go to warfare. That would be a horrible, horrible idea. But we're going to have to just accept the annexation of Ukraine.
Yeah, you know, in my mind, at least there's some excitement in my life.
I don't know about
That's
that.
kind of a harsh thing to say to people
No
who
one's
are
gonna
suffering.
risk. I don't think anyone's gonna risk Cold War at this point. Like, or Cold War.
You mean a
whether
hot
Cold
war?
War,
A
or
warm
yeah,
war?
even a hot war. Yeah, with
Genital
nukes.
war?
Nukes. No, nothing's gonna happen like that. Anybody who's
I
like,
definitely
and
don't want genital
also
war.
any Republican who's like, we should provide support to the UN. I shouldn't be.
UN?
So,
You must mean
I'm sorry.
Ukraine.
God, Ukraine.
You shouldn't talk anymore.
Shut up.
You should talk funnily.
I'm actually being sincere with my motivations. I just should be more. I should hold my thoughts back potentially more.
Why?
Because I don't know. I shouldn't let people know so much. Anyway, regardless, I don't think that
Oh, so
providing
many
support
mobs.
to Ukraine in order to defeat the enemy, so to speak, like McCain
Defeat the enemy.
or what is it, Lindsey Graham or whatever we're talking about.
You know, the
They can't
thing
honestly.
is,
They can't honestly believe that that's a good idea.
I
How
feel
many-
like Lindsey
how
Graham
many-
talks like Cleveland.
Yeah.
Is that something that people think?
Yes.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I can't.
Like that honestly can't
Hello
work. They're just
there.
gonna be stolen by the enemy. How many people have seen that picture of like, what is it? The Lord's Resistance Army holding those UNICEF packs or whatever that we gave them.
I thought you were going to talk about the Lord of the Rings.
I actually don't know what it was, but like we gave UNICEF packs to like children or whatever that had food and educational materials and all sorts of survival stuff, and they were just like taken by the rebel armies. Like it doesn't make a difference. Like you provide them with military force and then somebody else is
Blue
gonna
Jacks
take
knows
over.
all about that because he does something with Africa. And even though Northern Africa is very different than Sub-Saharan Africa,
Yes, it is.
I generalize and say that like somehow he knows everything about.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
I know it is.
That's wrong. But I just don't
Oh
think
my God! Stop jizzing.
I think it's a good
There
idea.
we go.
I don't think it's a good idea to arm your allies with a lot of weapons. Because
Why not?
because
That's what I do every day. I take the bus.
our enemies are gonna take them. I mean, not
Our
that,
enemies?
I wouldn't say they.
Don't speak for me.
I mean,
Oh my God.
I wouldn't call Russia an ally at this point.
Well, sure.
I mean, Germany, granted, they had like lots of reasons to be pissed off at us, and I don't blame them.
Oh, these cute little Spideys.
But at this point, they're like, well, they're better than Russia.
Wait,
Even though they...
who? Nazi Germany?
Germany. Not Nazi Germany.
Just regular Germany?
Yeah, Angela Merkel.
Oh.
She was like, well, even though they spied on me, which I'm super pissed about, I guess with this Ukraine thing,
This seems like a bad
United
idea.
States is better than Russia.
Wow.
I find it really interesting that they took Sochi and they were just like, yeah, Russia, it's part of the world now. And then they just like totally annexed Crimea and now eastern Ukraine. That's just crazy to me.
I mean that they just did like a slow motion invasion.
They're
No
just
one
like,
seemed to
well, yeah.
Well, we just know that the way that the balance of power is structured, no one's actually willing to risk human lives to do something.
That's
so
true. So we're just gonna
We're just gonna
annex it.
We're just gonna do this.
I don't even think that was calculated that to that extent.
I think it was like this. Do you think we can do it? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. In fact, like I think it's potential.
I think somebody at
potentially
some
the case
point
that-
said, "Do you think anyone's gonna try and stop us?"
I think that was Putin. I think some of the people on his advisory board was like, I don't know if we should do this. I don't know if this is
Oh.
a good idea. And he was like, do it.
He's like, see, I told you it was a good idea. Now we have Crimea.
It will show our
And we didn't even invade. It was
will show our
pro-Russian
strength.
militia.
We never even had troops on the ground.
Okay, here's something that's overrated. National strength. I don't even believe in sovereignty. I'm just like Clive Bundy. I don't believe in the existence of our country.
What?
It doesn't really exist.
What?
I'm just kidding. I can't believe that guy's name was Clive Bundy. It's almost a joke in itself.
Is it Clive or Clyde?
Cliven.
Cliven, sorry.
Yeah, what were you thinking? Of course it's Cliven.
I said something wrong today.
What'd you say?
Well, I brought it up and I said Clyde or something. I don't know.
You brought up Clyde Bundy? With whom?
Um...
I didn't hear you say it. I don't think you saw any other humans today besides me.
We were talking... Well, yeah, I did. And we were talking about...
Oh, fuck! Oh, this game is too hard!
The rights of individuals and their sexuality.
And Clive and Bundy came up?
Yes.
Well, I must not have noticed, because...
That was like my family could... Basically, that guy could be included in my family.
You're like, Clive and Bundy could have been, like, your... uncle?
My distant... Yeah, actually, I said that. I was like, my great uncle. That could have been him.
Yeah.
Because my family is so fucking backward.
Hmm.
Like, it's an anomaly. There are seriously no individuals who are homosexual in my family at all.
Oh, fuck!
Or who identifies any sort of gender aside from their assigned gender by God.
Well...
And the gender they should therefore
maybe
be attracted
it's
to.
just the odds.
That
Maybe
makes
they're
no
good
sense.
old-fashioned white-bread
I mean,
Americans, so of course they're not the gay.
I don't wanna like dispute...
You want to over-politicize this shit? Is that white wine or is that water?
White wine.
Can I have a taste?
Yeah. I don't want to dispute the fact that...
A little slower.
I don't want to dispute
It's
the
okay,
fact
I
that
guess.
probability, you know, with every individual person is like a roll of the dice. The probability of that every single person in my family has no sort of orientation that is
Alternative to
being straight or heterosexual is very low. It's not
Oh my
improbable.
fuck, I forgot I didn't have the gloves.
It's not completely improbable, but it's highly improbable that out of hundreds of family members that I've met, that no single person has any sort of sexual orientation, given the fact that studies show, and it's underreported, that 10% of the population is actually attracted to some member of the same sex.
I know, I even apparently have, like, maybe a potential, like, pedophile in my family. Oops.
You do?
Somewhere. I don't think I'm directly related. Well, no, I guess it would be somehow distantly.
Who?
I don't know. He's like a third cousin 3 times removed or something.
I know one of your uncles met Ted Bundy.
No. It wasn't Ted Bundy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was John Gacy.
Yeah, that's a very different story than what I'm talking about.
Whoa, that was interesting. One of your uncles met John Wayne Gacy. And
I thought he had his business card.
John Wayne Gacy gave him his
he almost
business
had a
card.
summer job with John Wayne Gacy.
Which
Look
would've-
that shit up.
Which would have led to,
his, death by
your
clown
cousins
rape.
not existing.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Death by clown
Carrie?
rape? That was Carrie.
Carrie.
If any of you are watching this, is that actually true, guys? Because I've definitely heard that.
What, your cousins?
Yeah, cousins.
Jenny and...
No, wrong family.
Sorry,
You don't know anything.
No,
Leave it
Jeffy, Danny, and,
So I'd rather not have to share my relative's name with the internet without their permission, but given that you made that decision for me...
His uncle met John Wayne Gacy, and John Wayne Gacy
I don't know if they actually met. I just think he had his business...
the business card and was like, hey, come work for me.
I don't, that's what I want to believe.
And your uncle was like,
I don't think my uncle said, like, no, you are a murderer.
No, he didn't say that. He was just like, I don't really feel like doing that.
I don't know if that's actually true.
That's the way you described the story toward me.
I want that to be the case. Okay,
that's the way you told me the story, like, when we were dating.
Okay, well, let's
I was like,
pretend that's
whoa,
still the case.
that's pretty insane.
Did you know who John Wayne Gacy was at the time, or was it basically just like hearing nothing at all?
I just took an exam on psychopaths. Yes.
At the time.
Yes. Okay. I knew who he was.
Well, just taking an exam on psychopaths doesn't mean that you used to know who John Wayne Gacy was.
Yes, I did. He was the clown.
He was the clown.
He was the clown. I knew who he was.
He was a clown.
He was a clown.
He's not the only one.
No, he's not the only one.
It's not like every other clown is a manifestation of the platonic form of John Wayne Gacy.
And then I knew even more when I heard Sufjan Stevens' song, which I think is brilliant, actually.
Fuck.
John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, fuck me!
It's
no!
Really,
oh, fuck this.
I mean, granted, he's like...
Oh, fuck.
A Christian singer or whatever, but that's a really good song. John Wayne Gacy.
It is a good song.
It's a really good song.
Alright, we're gonna have to end this after my next death, because this at this point is pathetic.
It's really brilliant. And then I learned even more after I read a ton on psychopaths.
Am I gonna pull this one off?
Read so much on psychopaths, it's ridiculous, you guys.
So much. So much.
It is ridiculous. It's kind of circular. Like, they know what they're looking for, and yet simultaneously they're trying to, like, determine criteria by which they would define a psychopath. Because...
Oh, come back down! Oh, this is bad. Uh-oh.
Apparently a psychopath occurs in normal day life, and they think that they're on Wall Street, and that's why the sort of 2008 economic
Crash happened
crisis
because no one cared?
Because basically there are a bunch of psychopaths involved. They take advantage of the corporate environment and the fast pace, and psychopaths are good at projecting an image and image management, impression management, which I suck at, by the way.
I'm pretty bad at it too.
No, you're not. But,
are you serious?
Yeah. You project a good image.
Oh
no! But that's pretty much all they can do, but they don't do real work. And so they're very good on Wall Street. They're very, like, if you ever read Snakes in Suits,
which I haven't.
It's very readable. It's kind of boring.
We gotta end this video.
But it's very readable.
We gotta end this video.
Right, but they're about, people on Wall Street.
We gotta end this video.
I'm done.
Okay, bye guys!
Bye.